In Episode 4, titled The Poisoned Chalice, the bonds of loyalty, courage, and friendship are put to the test as Merlin finds himself in deadly peril. At a grand feast in Camelot, nobles and royals from far and wide gather to celebrate and strengthen their alliances. Among them is Bayard, the ruler of a nearby kingdom, who has come to Camelot to honor his bond with King Uther. But unknown to Uther and Arthur, the celebration hides a sinister plot orchestrated by none other than Nimue, the powerful sorceress who despises Camelot and its royal family. Nimue, determined to see Camelot fall, devises a plan to eliminate Arthur. She enchants a beautiful ornate chalice with a deadly poison. She knows that Camelot's enemies often lurk in the shadows, and she intends to make it appear that Bayard is responsible for the treachery. With her trap set, she waits, knowing that the poison will lead to chaos and suspicion, and may even destroy the alliances Uther has so carefully built. As Bayard presents the chalice as a gesture of goodwill, Merlin senses something amiss. His instincts tell him that something dark is at play, and he catches sight of the chalice as it is offered to Arthur. Without hesitation, Merlin rushes forward and knocks the cup out of Arthur's hand, spilling its contents. The hall falls silent, shocked by the servant's audacity, and Uther demands to know what has happened. Merlin claims the chalice is poison, but without proof. It appears as though he's overstepped his place. Arthur, though frustrated with Merlin's impulsiveness, senses Merlin's sincerity. But Uther, furious, dismisses Merlin's warning and accuses him of trying to humiliate their guest. To prove that the chalice is safe, Arthur takes it upon himself to drink from it, only for Merlin to desperately step in once again, drinking from the chalice himself to protect Arthur from any harm. Within moments, Merlin collapses, the deadly effects of the poison quickly overtaking him. Uther orders that he be taken away, and as he's carried out, Arthur feels a pang of guilt, realizing that Merlin may have saved his life at the cost of his own. Merlin is taken to Gaius's chambers, where the old physician does everything he can to save him. Yet, Gaius knows the poison is not one he can cure with ordinary medicine. It is a deadly spell, crafted by Nimue herself. Desperate, Arthur makes a decision that goes against his father's orders. He vows to save Merlin, no matter the cost. Gaius tells Arthur of a rare and magical flower called the Mortius flower, which grows only in the Valley of the Fallen Kings. This flower is the only known antidote to the poison Merlin has consumed. But the valley is a dangerous place, guarded by mythical creatures, and filled with treacherous terrain. Arthur's journey will be perilous, and Uther warns him against risking his life for a mere servant. But Arthur, moved by Merlin's selfless act, is undeterred. He defies his father's wishes, feeling a deep loyalty to Merlin, who has proven his bravery time and time again. Arthur sets out alone, determined to find the flower and save his friend. As Arthur ventures into the dark, mystical valley, he encounters one challenge after another. He faces dangerous creatures, navigates treacherous landscapes, and battles exhaustion. The journey tests his strength and resilience, and yet he presses on, driven by a bond he's only beginning to understand. Through his journey, we see a glimpse of the leader Arthur is destined to become, a leader who values loyalty and friendship, no matter the cost. Meanwhile, back in Camelot, Gaius tends to Merlin, who lies unconscious, trapped in a feverish haze. Gwen, who has grown fond of Merlin, stays by his side, praying for his recovery. Though Merlin drifts in and out of consciousness, he is comforted by her presence. He knows that he is not alone, and that he has people who care for him. As he lies there, he dreams of Arthur, sensing that the prince is risking his life to save him. In the depths of the Valley of the Fallen Kings, Arthur finally finds the Mortius flower, its delicate petals glowing faintly in the dark. Just as he plucks it, a monstrous creature emerges from the shadows, roaring in fury. Arthur battles the creature with all his might, his bravery and determination shining through as he fights to protect the life of his friend. With one final strike, he defeats the beast and, clutching the precious flower, begins his journey back to Camelot. Arthur returns, exhausted but triumphant, and gives the Mortius flower to Gaius, who immediately prepares the antidote. Time is running out, and Merlin's life hangs by a thread. As the antidote is administered, Gwen, Arthur, and Gaius watch anxiously, hoping for a miracle. Slowly, Merlin's breathing steadies, his color returns, and he opens his eyes, weak but alive. Arthur, relieved, jokes that Merlin has caused him far too much trouble. But beneath his teasing, there is a newfound respect and gratitude. He realizes that Merlin's loyalty and bravery go far beyond that of a typical servant. And Merlin, in his own humble way, expresses his gratitude, knowing that Arthur risked everything to save him. As the episode concludes, Nimue watches from afar, furious that her plan has been foiled yet again. She realizes that Merlin is no ordinary servant, and that his connection to Arthur is stronger than she had anticipated. Her hatred for Camelot grows, and she vows to return, her thirst for revenge only deepening. In The Poisoned Chalice, we witness the deepening bond between Arthur and Merlin, a bond forged through loyalty, sacrifice, and courage. Though they come from different worlds, they are united by a destiny they are only beginning to understand. And though Nimue's dark forces continue to threaten Camelot, Merlin and Arthur stand together, ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead.